TeachAnOldDogNewTricks.com. More than 40 hours of free computer training. Sit, stay, and learn. Thank you. Hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Holowitz and I want to thank you for being here for this tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about getting paid for something when looking at QuickBooks. In previous tutorials, we took a look at creating an invoice, and then once you created that invoice, let's say someone sent you a check or made a payment, recording that payment. So again, we created an invoice, then we received a payment for that invoice. But let's say that instead of that scenario happening, let's say you're in a business and maybe someone walked in your front door and ordered something. So in other words, they come in, they order something, you give it to them, and they pay you. Now, your first reaction might be, well, let's create an invoice. But the reality is you don't have to do that. What you're going to find is when you create an invoice, you typically send it out to people. But on occasion, you might have people that pay you without an invoice being involved. In that case, you come over here to where it says create sales receipts right here. So I'm going to click on that. A sales receipt is really just like an invoice, but what it does is it takes out the step of the invoice being sent out, in essence. So right up here where it says customer job, what we're going to do is create a new company. I'm going to come in and type in XYZ company. Our previous company was ABC company, trying to just keep this simple. And again, just like an invoice, when I hit the tab key to move on, you're going to see it's going to ask us, do we want to add this? In this particular case, again, I'm just going to go to Quick Add because I'm going to sort of add things as I go along, and that's why I rarely use the setup. Next, it's going to say, hey, where do we want to deposit this money to? Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to deposit it to the bank account. The next time we come in to do this, it's going to remember our last transaction and assume, unless we change it, that we want to put it right in the bank account. Again, there are different templates, and you can customize these templates as you see fit. The date will take today's date. The sale number, I'm going to put this up, and for the sales receipt, I'm going to call it something like 5001, which is slightly different than the invoice, which I think I put up to roughly 2,000. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I just don't like to use number one. So just you can change that number to whatever you want, and the next sales receipt will be 5002. I'm going to hit the tab key to go over to the next field. I'm going to hit enter to go down, and I'm going to put this in as 456 State Street. And again, what's going to happen is when we get to the end of this invoice, we are going to find that it's going to prompt us to remember all of this new information. Hence, this is why I'm just doing it this way versus going in and doing a setup of all the information. Again, it's just a preference. It's really just what you want to do. So let me just throw in a quick zip code here. I'm going to hit the tab key. Again, let's say we want to put in the check number, 3652, the payment method. Obviously, because it's a check number, it's a check, but we can put that in nonetheless. And let's say we go into the item and we want to record what they bought. Well, I'm going to click on the drop down and you're going to see our ice cream is already in there. So let's say they came in and bought a half gallon of ice cream, the creamy awesome vanilla, but let's say they bought 3 of them. Well, I'm just going to extend it out to $11.97. Yes, if they came into a retail establishment versus wholesale, there might be a sales tax involved here, but or meals tax. I'm not going to get into the taxes right now, again, because I'm not trying to play accountant. I'm just trying to simplify this at this point. But again, what it did is it extended it. So let me back up for a minute and just recreate the scenario. Someone walks in your front door and they order right then and there creamy awesome vanilla ice cream, 3 half gallons of it. Well, what happens is they give you the money, it might be cash, it might be a check, and you have to record it. There's no sense of doing an invoice, which then you have to go in and apply a payment to. This sales receipt is sort of like creating the invoice and getting the payment all in one step, but it's much easier. So at this point, what's going to happen? If we go down and click on Save and Close, it will close this, and it will put that money into the bank account. Now, before that, it sees that When we originally put in XYZ company, we didn't put in any address, but when we get down here, I added it all in. So it's saying, would you like to save this so that the next time we sell something to XYZ company, all this information will automatically appear? I'm going to say yes, because that's what I want to have happen. So now we've recorded that. Now we've received or got a sales receipt, and that's it. That's all you have to do. It's really quite easy and easy to work with. And again, I hope you see a pattern developing here where sales receipts were just like creating invoices. In one of our next tutorials, we're going to talk about estimates and how they work and how they're so close to invoices and sales receipts that you're going to easily be able to do those and work with those. My name is Tony Holowitz, and I want to thank you for being here. Have a great day.